at me anymore, right? Go ahead and go in. So our app, if you notice, in order to simply launch our app, we're having to launch at least 4 different microservices. So the reason for that is scalability. Is you want to make sure that when you have, when you're featured on Reddit, whatever it may be, your site doesn't crash, and you can customize how you spin up your instances.
Can you go ahead and tell us a little bit about how the tech works or what it's actually run under?
So I'm about to go over everything that it's run under to make sure you understand our full stack. So the core of our stack is Node.js, where we use Meteor to have the entire bundling system happen. That's how we actually deliver information to our client. Then we use a system called RabbitMQ, which is a messaging platform. And RabbitMQ sends our data via broker into Python as well as Scala to run our actual machine learning and transmit it back and forth. So what we're doing is on our MongoDB client-side facing app, we're inserting and deleting directly into MongoDB. Then at the same time, we're doing the exact same transaction on Python, on Scala, and then we're also, when we do the inserts into MongoDB, we're factoring in data from Cassandra, TitanDB, our other data stores. So we have crawlers that are actually constantly crawling information from Rate Beer and Beer Advocate to better understand what are the similar beers, what do customers want, what are the price points theoretically supposed to be. So if you can go ahead and look up here, our site, I guess one of the first things I can go ahead and demonstrate is just its sheer speed in terms of search. So let's go ahead and do something, because this is how customers really like to look at their beers. Like this thing just it's almost too fast, frankly. So here we can just, this gives you a generally good idea of how fast our site can add stuff to cart. Oh, wow, I'm not signed in. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump to the sign up process. Okay. So Yusuf, what I'll do is just to jump you right in, let's check out the beer club. Oh shit, I accidentally logged out. Okay, so here we go. These questions right now are subject to change. We're still testing it out, so you just have to pick one region. Hey, give us some information. So I'm on the West Coast. Why would I want West Coast beers? Midwest, okay. Let's see something. All right, let's go ahead. Light. These we're going to be adding a lot more to, but we're trying not to overwhelm the client during the initial onboarding process. Let me go ahead and subscribe to it. To give you an example of one of the places we use machine learning, it would be right here. So as you can see, I didn't sub that out, yeah. So as you can see right here, this is $100 a box. This has a 10% discount. This has a 15% discount for 12 shipments, right? The idea is, what is the lowest discount I need to push as many people into 12 shipments as possible? So the other fact is, hey, maybe it's not just a percent. If I made this green and a different number, would they be more likely to convert? The fact is, most people are able to do A/B testing. We're able to do multivariate testing. So that's another reason why your typical craft beer company would not be able to do that versus we can. good old Stripe to process our transactions. Okay, so I've made everything manual, so you can go ahead and see how we're running this. So normally, this message is going to be sent via broker. So these are just 6 random items. What we want to do now is run our actual machine learning script to figure out, if you excuse me, let me just load it up. Okay, so these are 6 random items, right? I haven't done anything. I have my preferences. I have the items I've looked at. I have my inventory, which I'll show you in my dashboard for a second. So there's certain items that aren't moving based on chatter that I'm detecting. There's certain items that are very high in demand. So I will now show you as we run our machine learning script. These 6 beers should go ahead and change in front of you.
Got it.
So as you can see here, we went ahead and tested a few different variants. We inserted it. Let's go ahead and watch for the automatic update, which is, again, now part of our technology. So I have these 6 beers. I can now, if I do nothing, they're going to go ahead and ship to me automatically. I can also do things like pause my shipment, reschedule it, or change my tier, all of those things. So for these purposes, I'm just going to go ahead and keep or discard 3 and 3. Well, let's make it 3 and 3. Go ahead. So I can keep the item. If I do nothing, I also get it. If I dislike it, we go ahead and tag that there's what are the uncommon similarities based on all the tags we've mined that made you dislike it. What are the most common positive similarities? And then we go ahead and inject a new version in there. So I will also go ahead and show that now. So you can take a look at our admin dashboard. Here's our admin dashboard. Still water, fire, so you see these are the same people. I'm going to go ahead now and apply the next machine learning script based on all of the current movement of inventory. Okay, so this is really the crux of all the different calculations that we're running to get this information. If we look here, this just populated. And based on the amount paid, shipping all of these, we're actually going to make a $33 profit. And if you see, the reason behind that is I disliked this beer. That was $26.99. So this is where the machine learning really comes into play, right? The beer box is optimized for a customer's lifetime value. Each customer has a different lifetime value, and each customer values the beers differently. That is why it seems almost like overkill, right? That we're using a $30,000 server cluster to crunch this data. But the fact is, we are able to maximize customer happiness and maximize retention through an algorithm. If you look closely here, we're able to retrain our algorithm. We're able to tell it, hey, next time, wow, this box, no, that was not the right price. Oh, it weighs too much. The desirability is too high. Let me remove and edit unique keys. Once all of that good stuff is done, if I verify it, okay, let me go ahead and send this poor guy his box. So he'll go over here, and then let's see if he has any other items currently waiting. Okay. Ooh, look here. We can also go ahead and merge an existing order that he has with his beer box in order to save money on shipping. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and pack his box, and then I'm going to ship it out to him now. So here he is. Now he gives me a different set of detailed rating preferences that, again, I can now crunch more data with. So if you want, let's just take a quick look at our site one more time and just see, wow, how fast is it to add different items from different people? It's pretty crazy fast, frankly. Oh, here are similar beers. Well, just to teach you guys a little bit something about this, in a general e-commerce site, let's say I have a really popular item and I rank that item nice and high and people love this item and its brand, right? Well, the fact is the similar items on that page are usually more likely to have an add to cart action performed on it. So I should probably, in my most popular similar beers pages, embed inventory that's a combination of both not moving and a suitable match to always keep inventory flowing through the system. So if we go as a consumer, I can take a look at an individual brewery's page. Again, do all my nice sorting, check out the reviews, their followers, all of that activity. One of the other items we're planning on showcasing is the ability to go through all our users. So here, if I can just show you this. Okay, this is one user's profile that you should be able to access to. Here's what he's looking at. Oh, here's what he's following. I can just add this to my cart, to my order right now too. Wow, let me look at some of the other beers he's taken a look at. Oh, wow, he got this in his beer club membership. Let me sign up right now. That's a general high overview of our site. One of the other things I just wanted to touch briefly on, another example of how we fundamentally use technology, is our marketing engine. Right, we found that MailChimp was not suitable to our needs in the sense that I am not going to sit here and automatically run these A/B testings among demographics that I have no information for. So we've actually built in Scala our own app to say, okay, let's first get the email address of the guy, which you can buy from these paid sources, right? But these are very expensive, $1, $2 an email. So what's the first thing I should do? I should mine automatically as much data as I can get. What's on his GitHub? What's on his LinkedIn? What's on his Facebook? Get baseline information. Okay, so now I should have probably his occupation, his demographic, his age, geographical location. Okay, a software engineer who works at Uber, he's probably going to get out at about 3 p.m. on Friday. Let me go ahead and send those guys a craft beer. Hey, why don't you buy on a Friday? And in general, you're a software engineer, you have more expensive tastes. Let me send you a more premium product. If that doesn't work, or if I'm uncertain of my conclusion, let me go ahead and split test it automatically the next time. And instead of doing a 50-50 split, if I think more likely the solution isn't working, let me modify it to 80-20, see if the numbers still match up. These are very important things, I believe, in this new day and age where customer acquisition cost is everything. You live, breathe, and die by your numbers, which is really what we're about.
Okay. Sounds great.
All right, so we'll cut it there.
I don't know what to say.
That was pretty good. That was a roll.
Good.
That rolled on.
Is there anything like you want to say, like, hey, what's
anything else I was supposed to talk about?
Yeah, so I was gonna ask. Deep dive into the product, 2 to 3 minutes.
That was a deep dive.
That was a very deep dive, yeah.
And I thought it hit on a lot of pretty cool things in the product, right?
Yeah, definitely. What was the last thing? Was that the last thing? Just a deep dive into the product?
Well, I'm also supposed to end it to our ask.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. What's your ask? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So.
So what's your ask at the end of the day? What are you looking for from investors?
Or no, first ask me something along the lines of what you provide to the industry.
I think we re-answered that.
I know, but I want to re-answer it one more time.
Okay, so Sri, what exactly do you provide to the industry that others don't?
So, Yusuf, the reason I think the especially up-and-coming microbreweries will choose us is, I'll give you an example. We tag each beer bottle with its unique RFID chip that's tied into a temperature sensor monitor. So instead of their items sitting at unideal temperature in some hot warehouse for 2 years somewhere, we can monitor the temperature every 2 hours, guarantee that that item sells by 6 months, and if at any time its quality has degraded, we can automatically pull it from the supply chain. So our supply chain optimization to maximize the quality of their product, I believe first and foremost is single-handedly the most important thing that we do.
I would have led that. I would actually led with that.
Well, I just didn't. We're gonna slice it in now.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I would have said if I were you. I mean, you immediately jumped into the. Honestly, I was like, what is he talking about? It was the feature point. I think you should have dropped into the first thing that you should have said was, we maximize blah, 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 and then explain how we do that. That's how you should do it. Yeah.
Okay. Let me then also get one more take. Okay, go ahead. Just say take.
Take.
All right. Pretend like you asked me another question of how we're doing this or some shit like that.
Okay, how are you guys doing this? Some shit like that.
You know what I mean? Ask it legitimately.
Okay, ask the question. Ask the same question again. Okay, so what makes you guys? What do you guys bring to the industry at the end of the day that's nobody else is bringing?
Shit, I just had such a good answer for this too. I had it all mapped up. Hold on. One second. I have to rack my brain really quick. Ask me, how are you disrupting the industry?
Okay. Industry, how are you guys actually disrupting the industry at the end of the day?
All right, well, as you guys can tell, I like to share stories. So I'm going to go ahead and share this one as well to give you a little background about alcohol and how it works. Okay. We all know Prohibition, what happened. Al Capone was the man in charge. Back in the days of Prohibition, you had the people who made the beer, alcohol. You had Al Capone, who moved it from the people who made it to the end retail locations that sold it. Then came Prohibition, and the United States government realized, why aren't we Al Capone? He doesn't do any work, and he makes all of the money. That's when Prohibition went away, and we were left with our gift of the 3-tier system. So the 3-tier system is where Tier 1, I'm your maker. Tier 2, I'm your wholesaler. Tier 3, I'm your retailer. If I own or indirectly own a Tier 3, I cannot touch or own a Tier 2 or a Tier 1. So this becomes incredibly problematic to have a direct-to-consumer marketing strategy, which is where craft breweries usually actually thrive, right? They have a loyal customer following. Loophole that emerged in about the last 10 years was if I have what's called a tasting room, so let's say I sell you nachos with that beer if I'm a craft brewery, I am now allowed to sell directly to my customer through a tasting room. And I can also utilize this / form an in-house distributorship to send it off into a Tier 3 location that I do not control. So the way we are really disrupting the industry is with us, the second tier is no longer necessary. It's no longer a third tier that's taking a 30 to 40% profit margin in order to do nothing. We are a virtual distributor in the cloud. We already know based on data, where is this beer going to sell? Where does it need to move? How much of it do we need to produce? That right there, integrating the data from all the way Joe 6-pack customer to the person who's making it is unprecedented. Now, when I also factor in the quality controls that I'm putting into place, no one's even heard of this as a concept. So just the sheer nature of aggregating the inventory, having a machine-learned beer box, being one of the first people to realize that the second tier is useless and doesn't really service a purpose anymore in the age of the internet. and e-commerce. So that's why we want to be the dominant one-stop shop for craft beer. Like, we can be that craft beer platform. We can put new breweries, get products into customers' hands. We can automatically say, this product, you need to slash the price of this product and it needs to get out of the warehouse because it's simply not moving. The amount of analytics and data that we can provide, I think, is unparalleled. Our e-commerce platform, we built this completely customized because after evaluating every solution out there, not one was qualified for this kind of data overload, frankly. The amount of unique SKUs coming into this really make it also a big data challenge. No matter how cliched that sounds, it is a challenge to scale up a system that has over 2,000 unique items coming in every month. So we've really attacked this from an engineering problem, right? We didn't stop there. Having an end retail store. So in order to circumvent a lot of these laws / have our own version of nachos with beer, we have to have what's called a retail location that's open to the public. Now, the definition of open to the public is as long as I'm open for 5 minutes a day, I count as being open to the public. So we plan on having our warehouses, fulfillment centers open to the public from 4:30 to 5 every day. That's it. In return for that, these distribution centers are able to ship nationwide and also export internationally.
Okay, that's great.
We cover everything, Yusuf?
I think we did, Shri. Well, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Oh, at the end of the day, what is your ask from investors?
Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and wrap that one up right now.
So what are you actually looking to get from investors, Shri?
So what we're looking from investors is primarily to participate in our round. We're raising $500K. We've closed 250 thus far. Of the amount that we've raised, over 150 is going to be sent into our brick and mortar location alone and licensing fees to get that up and running. The technology R&D component is already built. We've fully rounded out our marketing team, and we are just looking for those last few commitments in addition to the 5 people that have already committed to date.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you so much, Shri.
Thank you, Yusuf.
No problem.
All right, now let me call Akil really quick, if you don't mind, and then we'll get out of here.
Can I just hit stop on this?
Yeah. Is that okay? Did you get some good material?
I think you got some fantastic material.
Really?
Yeah. I'll have to say, man.
Oh, where's the shit? How do I stop the screen? Oh.